And still featherweight champion of the world, Alex Volkanovski. Congratulations, my friend. How relieved are you to finally have gotten in there and defended your title against Brian Ortega?
Oh, mate, it was good to get in there, man. The whole fight week, everything, the crowds again. It was an incredible week, man. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed everything. But again, fighting in front of the crowd and being able to compete again. Everything about it, mate. It was incredible. And I just want to I want to do it again. You know what I mean? I'm pumped. So that's why I want to stay active so I can get back in there because, mate, I enjoyed absolutely everything about it.
We've seen some battles, Alex, at 145 over the years. In your opinion, was that the greatest featherweight fight of all time?
Mate, it was definitely up there, man. Like, I think it could. You know what I mean? A lot of people are buzzing about it. We watched it earlier today. Mate, it was obviously it was still more one-sided with the fight, but the fact that he had me in some of especially that third round, I definitely would say like that was probably the craziest round that the featherweight's ever seen. Yeah, so yeah, man, a lot of people are talking about it, everyone's buzzing about it, so it's definitely up there.
Well, let's talk about that round. It was an incredible effort for you to have persisted through those submission attempts. You said in the press conference you had a fear at the moment that you might be losing the belt here. What were your emotions in that moment exactly? Were you feeling fear? Was there panic going through your mind?
There wasn't panic. That's something that, that's what helped me as well. The fact that I could still be so calm. Now, obviously, it looked like I was panicking because I was trying to, get my legs free a little bit and trying to move my hips and doing a couple of things like that. But there was it was definitely deep, very deep. I was feeling like, oh, mate, this is it. When you're saying like I might lose a belt, I was actually thinking of my family while I was like, I'm not doing. I don't know if this belt's coming back home to my family. I thought of my family while I was sort of thinking. It's hard to explain. And I was just like, I can't go out like this, you know what I mean? Like that's sort of where we're at. And I just went, it's either I, go to sleep or I get out of this, you know what I mean? That's because I was never going to tap. And it was, it was crazy. It was a crazy moment, but, I think definitely thinking of the family and, this is why I do it. Gave me that few seconds extra, which freed me up a little bit. And before you knew it, I was out.
What in your mind, Volk, sets you apart from other fighters who might have tapped in that situation?
Mate, exactly that. Most of them would, or they wouldn't have got out. You know what I mean? They would have probably panicked. They wouldn't be as fit as me, so they wouldn't have lasted that long in that submission anyway. And then, the resilience and and all that type of stuff. Not many people can be in that position and be able to get out of that. You know what I mean? And it was close to not doing it because, mate, Ortega's no joke when it comes to submissions. He's known for that. And he wasn't just in any submission. That's probably the deepest guillotine he's ever probably pulled off inside an actual fight. And he still managed to somehow not pull it off. You know what I mean? It just shows you the type of person I am, human being I am. And, that's why I'm a champion, because of that's what separates me from the rest, I believe.
Well, speaking of the kind of human being that you are, Alex, the fans know you, and we here at the Main Event family in Whitaker, we know you as sort of a laid-back guy, someone who doesn't really like to get involved in any of the nonsense. But is there a part of you that doesn't really feel comfortable getting involved in any of the trash talk, or is it like Chael where you don't mind being the bad guy?
Oh, man, look, I'm just not going to... If it's sort of real, obviously... I didn't mind, building the fight up and all that type of stuff that came with it. I enjoyed it all. Press conferences and all that. It was good. I enjoyed it. But again, if there's no bad blood or if there's no reason to hate a person, I'm not going to go out there and just start making up shit. You know what I mean? Excuse the language. So that's just not the guy I am. But put it this way: if I'm probably going to be looking for things. You know what I mean? I'm going to look every time I verse someone. I'm going to be looking for things that annoy me, and I'll definitely bring it up from now on.
Alex, the end of round 3, Herb Dean didn't stop the fight. They helped Brian back up to his stool. Do you believe the fight should have been stopped there?
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to. The corner's not allowed to help him up to the stool. They have to be able to do that stuff themselves, and if they can't, the fight's over. So not only that extra time they gave after the minute that they already had in between rounds, they end up giving him another extra minute. Trying to do this, assessing him. He's answering questions wrong. I'm watching it with my own eyes. Now I'm like, I don't really care because I'm like, at least we put on another two rounds, a good fight for everyone. So it's okay. But looking back at it and be like, something's wrong. Why was he getting all these favors for him? You know what I mean? And would it have been the same if the tables were turned with me? I don't think so. So that's something that I'll definitely need to look into. I won't put too much thought into it just yet. I'm a little hungover, so I'll worry about that maybe tomorrow. But yeah, it's definitely something not really right there. So I was a bit disappointed with that. But in saying that, at least we got an extra 2 rounds and, gave everyone a good fight.
But even before the allowances after the round, when you were raining ground and pound upon him, were you surprised that the referee wasn't stepping in at that moment because your shots were landing?
Mate, there was some big shots, and he was tough, mate. He was eating them. He wasn't going out. It shows that he does have that great chin that people were talking about. Because some of them were landing hard, and he was like, mate, it was pretty savage. But yeah, like I thought the ref was going to stop it, but mate, they gave him every chance they could and some. And like I said, I think they went against the rules to give him even more chances. To be quite honest, when we're talking about. In between the 3rd and 4th round, like, yes, giving him the extra time, lifting him up to all that type of stuff. And even in the 4th, they did that again, gave him extra time, and all that type of stuff, which isn't right. Something's up there, but I mean, anyway, I won't look into it too much just yet.
Okay. Alex, let's look to the future. The most obvious fight for you now is the winner of Max and Yair Rodriguez in November. Provided the winner gets through unscathed, the earliest a fight with you would look to be maybe February, March. Would you be willing to wait that long?
I mean, that's the thing. I guess I have to obviously for the featherweight division. But we'll see whether we could, just slip in a little a super fight in between then, or what? You got Conor obviously saying some things and whatnot. Maybe you could slip something like that in. But I want to stay active. But obviously, being the champ, you can't just you need to wait for them number 1 contenders. So that's sort of where we're at with that. But I mean. I'll talk to my team. We'll find out what's best. We'll talk to UFC and we'll see what's next. But definitely for the featherweight belt, that's going to have to wait till at least, you're right, February or something.
So you wouldn't be willing to fight someone else in the featherweight division, a Giga Chikadze or an Arnold Allen or someone like that for the belt?
I mean, I don't think that'll be what the UFC want. And again, I want the number 1 contenders anyway. Giga's definitely doing well. I've obviously got my eye on him, but he's still got some work to do as well.
You mentioned going up, Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier looking to fight maybe in December. As the featherweight champion, would you be willing to go up and fight someone not for the belt, a la Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin or Stephan Bonnar?
Oh, man, obviously the belt, that's what we'll be wanting. We're always going to chase that belt, but at the same time, again, I want to stay active. I want to catch up for this time that was missed in between my last fight. So, yeah, definitely. It would have to be a big fight. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not just going to do it just for the sake of it, but it would have to be the right fight. Whether that's probably the belt we would want, but I mean, we'll have to see. Or a Conor fight. You know what I mean? A good paycheck. We'll see. But yeah, again, I'm not putting too much thought into that yet because we've been celebrating. So now I can probably from tomorrow start looking into that with my team.
Speaking of the 155 division, though, your response to Conor McGregor calling you names and calling you out like that?
Mate, look, as I did on the press conference, I just sort of, I just laugh it off. Him on the piss. I think whenever he's partying, his Twitter fingers comes out and he's always saying stuff. But I mean, in saying that, hey, every time there's a big moment, it's a big moment, and someone's getting a lot of shine when he tries to take that shine away. So obviously I'm doing something right for him to even be doing that. So all good.
So it is looking like the winner of Max and Yair is the most likely. How much does a third fight with Max Holloway excite you?
Mate, look, I want the big fights as well, you know what I mean, in our division. Ortega, we had the Ultimate Fighter, all that, so they build the hype up for got the main event and all that type of stuff, put on a cracker fight. With Max, obviously, the trilogy, a lot of people are still talking about it. A lot of people still want to see that. So again, I do want these big fights, and it does excite me. You know what I mean? So obviously we have to see who wins that fight. You can't write off Rodriguez. You can't write him off straight away. I think Yair's in for a hard fight. In Max. So I'm taking Max winning that, and we'll be doing that trilogy. So we'll be doing that third fight, and I'm excited for it because again, a lot of people want it, and again, we're still going to have people doubting, and I love proving them wrong, as I've proved time and time again.
Speaking of those doubters, Alex, this is your show, and you've come on the show and you've spoken about how the Max fans have sort of dismissed you as champion now. But I think the overwhelming consensus after the weekend is that you earned the respect of so many people who maybe previously doubted you. I know you don't necessarily care what people think, but is it sort of nice knowing that people who weren't in your camp previously are now backing you?
Yeah, man, for sure. That's why we wanted to go out there and put on a good performance and all that type of stuff, and then, that chip on the shoulder that we were talking about, I feel like I had something to prove, what I mean? Even though I didn't get the finish that I said I was going to do, but, it was a crazy fight, a war, and a lot of them people definitely on board now. So, yeah, it does. It feels good. There's that appreciation that, I feel like, I deserve.
Well, Alexander Volkanovski, and still great to see you defend that belt. We really appreciate your time here on Fight Week. Go and celebrate, and hopefully see you back in Oz very soon.
Thank you. No more celebrating. Sleep time for me.
Take care, champ.
See you, mate.